page 193, 1, 2 and 3. Before I start, right, remember Dad's silly triangle. Okay, so Dad's silly triangle, you probably learned it in junior cert maths. Okay, it's handy because you have three formulas. If you're looking for speed, cover the S, and speed equals distance over time. If you're looking for time, cover the T, time equals distance over speed. And if you're looking for distance, distance equals speed multiplied by time. So if you remember Dad's silly triangle, you have three formulas learnt in one. Okay, so number one from last night. A train travels 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours. So it goes 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours. Then it goes 90 kilometers per hour for 1 hour. Okay, so, and then it wants its average speed over the entire journey. Okay, so if it was going 60 kilometers every hour for 2 hours, so it went 60 and then it went another 60, so that would be, it travelled 120 kilometers. Would you agree with that? It was going 60 kilometers per hour, so that means every hour it went 60 kilometers. So in 2 hours it would have went 120 kilometers. And then in 1 hour it was going 90 kilometers per hour. So if it's doing 90 kilometers every hour, in 1 hour it would just go 90 kilometers. So the total length of the journey was 210 kilometers. The total time for the journey was 3 hours, and it said get its speed. So up to that silly triangle, you're looking for speed. So speed is equal to distance over time. So the distance is 210 and the time is 3, and this is in kilometers and that's in hours, and that's what you want. 210 divided by 3 is 70 kilometers per hour. Okay, number 1.
Miss, when I was doing that, I converted the hours into minutes.
Yeah, that's fine, but what answer did you get then?
I got the wrong answer.
Yeah, see, with you would have got kilometers per minute, okay? Right, and we don't ever measure speed in kilometers per minute. We either measure it in kilometers per hour, or if it's a short distance, right, as in Usain Bolt run the 100 meters, we measure his speed in meters per second, okay? So never in minutes. So if it's big, sorry, that's kilometers per hour. If it's big, right, as in a tree in a car, a cyclist, it's kilometers per hour. And if it's short, as in someone run the 100 meters, it's meters per second. Okay, so it's either hours or seconds for the time, never minutes. Okay, so all you can make sure the minute you have minutes, you need to change them to either hours or seconds. Okay. So that's question 1. Can I rub it off? Gone now.
Yeah.
Right, number 2. A journey takes 3 hours, so the time for the journey is 3 hours, right? And the speed is 120 kilometers per hour. How long in hours? Right, so basically we have time here, we have speed, we're missing distance, aren't we, for that journey. Then we're going to do the same journey again, right, okay, this time we want to know how we're missing time. We're going to know the speed. They told me it was 80 kilometers per hour, right, and it's going to be the same distance. So when I get the answer here, so it's like 2 sums in 1. I'm going to get the answer for the first bit, right, okay, and then use it to do the second bit. So journey and then a different journey. Right, if you treat it as 2 different sums. So we need that silly triangle. Silly triangle. So on part 1 we're missing distance. So distance equals, cover the D, it's speed multiplied by time. So the speed is 120, the time is 3, 120 multiplied by 3 is 360. So, and it's in kilometers. How do I know it's kilometers? Because it's part of the speed. So we're going to do the same journey again. Okay, so we're going to do the same distance, but our speed is now 80 kilometers per hour, and they want to know how long. So I'm missing time. So that silly triangle, cover the T, and time is equal to distance over speed. So time is equals to distance over speed. We know the distance, it's 360. We know the speed, 80, into the kilometre, or into the calculator with that, and you'll get 4.5 hours, right, because the speed was in kilometres per hour. So when the speed is in kilometres per hour, the distance is in kilometres and the time is in hours. Okay? Right, is that okay? Number 2. Right, I'm going to do, can I rub this off? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do number 3 now. There's lots of parts to number 3, but I want to show you how to put, well, I know I explained it on the video, but just in case you didn't get it. Right, we're looking for speed in all of these. So speed equals distance over time. So in part 1, the distance is 240, the time is equal to 2, right? Speed is equal to, that's in kilometres, that's in hours. So it's 240 kilometres over 2 hours, which is 120 kilometres per hour. Okay, that was just an easy one to get you started. Right, part 2 is also easy. Okay, the distance is 336 kilometres. The time is 3 hours. So speed equals distance over time, which is 336 over 3, which is 112 kilometres per hour. Okay, now part 3, girls, is 68 kilometres is the distance and the time was half an hour, right? Okay, now we know half an hour, that's 0.5, right? Okay, so this one's okay, it's 68, speed is equal to 68 divided by 0.5, and when you do that on your calculator you'll get 136 kilometres per hour, I think. Right, is that okay? Right, now they get a little bit, well no, they're not too bad. Right, part 4, the distance is 392 kilometres. The time is 3.5 hours, so I'll change that to 3.5 hours. Okay, so speed is equal to distance over time, which is 392 divided by 3.5. Okay, I need a calculator for that one. So it's 392, turn on the calculator. Yeah. Divided by 3.5 equals 112 kilometres per hour. Okay, I'm doing all of these now because they're new and I just want to get onto the harder ones because I want to show you how to do it on the calculator. Well, make sure you know how to do it in your calculator. Right, 32 kilometres in 15 minutes. Now, the time is 15 minutes. Okay, you probably know that that's quarter of an hour, right, which is 0.25 of an hour. But just say you didn't, right, there's a couple of ways to do it, right, okay, you can put it over 15 over 60, right, or you can, 15 over 60 into the calculator will give you 0.25, or, because it's 15 minutes out of 60 minutes, or I want you to show you this button on the calculator. So, sorry, I'll reduce that one notch now. Right, see this button here with all the inverted commas on it, right, okay, you can use that for time, okay, but when you use it for time, girls, you have to put in the hours, the minutes, so you have to put in the hours. So for the example here, this is no hours and 15 minutes, so you want to do 32 divided by no hours and 15 minutes, okay, so 32 divided by no hours and 15 minutes. So to do that, girls, you do 32, right, fraction button, and then 0, and press that button with all the inverted commas, right, okay, and then press 15, and you must press that button again to log it in as minutes. So 0, see how 0 hours and 15 minutes comes up, and then you press equals, and you get 128, and it's in hours, kilometres per hour. Okay, I'll do the next one. I'll reduce it down, sorry. Next one is 90 kilometers, so it's 90 kilometers in 40 minutes. Okay, so the time is 40 minutes. Now, okay, you can write 40 minutes as a fraction of an hour, 40 over 60, right? But if you didn't want to do that, you can use this button on the calculator. So I want 90 kilometers divided by 0 hours and 40 minutes. Now you have to put in the 0 hours, because if you just put in the 40, it'll be 40 hours you have to put in. Okay, so press the fraction button and you do 90 on top. Sorry. And then underneath you put 0, that button with all the commas on it, right? That's 0 hours and 40. Now you have to log it in again as minutes, right? And then press equals, and that will give you 135 kilometers per hour. Okay, so that button is very handy, girls, for doing time. Okay, right, that was all the homework you had. I'm going to do a few more examples of these. I'm not moving off these today because I'm pretty confident we'll probably need more practice at them. So if you have your books open there, open page 194, and I'm going to do number 5. Okay, so if you flip over there to 194, and I'm going to do number 5, right, and we can write this down as example. Where did I stop in the examples yesterday? I can't remember. Example, what's next? Example
4.
So I'm on to 4. I did 3 examples yesterday, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Example 4, so hang on now, I'll reduce. Sorry. Example 4. So a journey of 276 kilometers. Okay, I'll just summarize. So it's page 194, question 5. Okay, because I'm not going to write it out. Page 194, question 5. So it's 276 kilometers, right? Okay, so that's how long, that's the distance. It began at 10:40, so this is the 24-hour clock. So it began at 10:40 hours and it ended at 14:30. Okay, so it started at 20 to 11 and finished at 2:30. Okay, so we need work out the speed. So we need the time first, and then it says work out the speed. Okay, so the time I have to subtract. Okay, now if you were doing it in your head, girls, and I know some of you like to do stuff in your head, right? I'd do it up to 11 o'clock. So it'd be 20 minutes up to 11 o'clock. Then 11, 12, 13, 14 would be 4 hours. No, it wouldn't. It would be 3 hours, 12, 13, 14, 3 hours, right? And then that brings me up to 2 o'clock, and then there's a 30 minutes. Okay, so in total that's 3 hours, 40 minutes. Okay, but that button on the calculator is brilliant. Okay, so you can subtract. Okay, so we arrived at 14:30. We left at 10:40. So put in into your calculator. It's 14:30. So it's 14 hours. That button with the commas. 30 minutes. Take away 10 hours. 10 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, and it'll give you the time there, 3 hours 50 minutes. So look, I added wrong, sorry, 3 hours 50 minutes is what the journey is. I've written down, right? Is that okay? So don't be afraid to use that button on the calculator. I personally think it's brilliant, right? Okay, so the time, girls, is 3 hours and 50 minutes. So then I want the speed. So speed is equal to distance over time. So the distance is 276, and then it's 3 hours and 50 minutes. I'm going to use that button on the calculator. So 3 hours and 50 minutes, and into the calculator then. So that's 276, fraction button, 276, and underneath the line I have 3 hours and 50 minutes. Don't forget to log the minutes every time. Okay, equals, and that would be 72, and it's kilometers per hour. Okay, so that is that example. Okay, example 4. Right. Okay, I'll leave you jot that down. So example 5, right, it's the same page, page 194, and we're going to look at question 8. So so if you have your book handy, open it up there and we'll read it. Okay? Can I move this up? Are we okay? Right.
Yeah.
Question 8, sorry. It takes 4 hours and 20 minutes. Right, so we're doing a journey. So look, I'm going to draw out the journey. Right, so I'm going from here to here. And I'm going to do the journey, and it's going to take me 4 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, where is it? To travel a journey, and I know the speed here, so the speed is 120 kilometers per hour. Okay, I'm going to stop there, right? I'm not going to read any more for a minute. Okay, so if I'm looking for, I know the time, I know how long it took me, I know the speed, I'm missing the distance. So we go to that silly triangle. Formula for distance is speed multiplied by time. So I'm missing the distance. So speed multiplied by time, that's 120 multiplied by 4 hours and 20 minutes. So on the calculator that. Okay, so I have 120 multiplied by 4 hours and 20 minutes equals, right, okay, just to ignore the S to D it, okay, S to D, well, maybe it's shift and S to D. Shift, no, why won't that work? Maybe it's that button. Yeah, just press that button again. So when it comes up in hours and it's actually distance, just press the button with the commas again. Right, so the distance, girls, is 520 kilometers. So that's how far I travelled, 520 kilometers. Okay, so then I'm doing part 2 of this, right, I'm doing the same journey again. So I now know it's, 520 kilometers, right. Good job you're not here, you'll probably get COVID. No, I'm joking. How many hours a minute will it take to travel the same journey? Right, so now the speed, girls, so the distance is 520, the speed is equal to 100 kilometers per hour, and this time I'm looking for time. Okay, so it's the same journey, different speed, same distance, different time. So I'll cover time. Time is equal to distance divided by speed. So the distance is 520 and the speed is 100. Into the calculator with that. Okay, so that's why am I showing you this on the calculator, is because you can actually put it into time if you want your answer in hours and minutes. So we go 520 divided by 100. Okay, and that will give me, look, 5.2 hours. But if I wanted it in hours and minutes, girls, just press the button with all the commas on it. So it's 5.2 hours, but if you press the button with the commas on it, that'll tell you it's 5 hours and 12 minutes.
How come you put a 0 in front of 520?
Accident. I didn't mean to. That was an accident. But it doesn't matter. Sorry, that was must have been a 0 pressed. I didn't see it. So 520 just without the 0 divided by 100 gives me 5.2, and then press the button with the with the commas on it, and it'll tell you that's 5 hours and 12 minutes. Okay? Now, one more example for today. You'll be happy to know I'm not going to stay online for an entire double class with you. Right, okay, can I take that away? Let's get a blank one. Does anyone need that back? Okay. So, example 6. It's on page 194 again. And it's question 16. Okay, so it's on same page, so Annie walks a distance of 1.7 kilometers from school to home. So she's at school. Remember what that feels like at school, yay? Do you miss it? I miss it. 1.7 kilometers. I can't wait to see real people again. 1.7 kilometers, right, she walks, so that's the distance. She walks at a speed of 5.1 kilometers per hour. So what is the latest time she can leave school to be home for 8:55? Right, before I deal with that, okay, I'm missing time. I need to see how long her journey takes. So I need Dad's silly triangle. So time, cover time is equal to distance over speed. Time is equal to distance over speed, right? So distance is 1.7, speed is 5.1, right? Into the calculator with that, so 1.7 over 5.1 equals, right? And that's 1/3, right? Okay. Now we want that in hours and minutes, okay? So if you just press the button with all the commas on it, it'll put it into hours and minutes for you. So it's 0 hours and 20 minutes, okay? So 0:20 is 0 hours and 20 minutes. So that means it'll take her 20 minutes to walk to school. So she wants to be there for, where is it? She wants to be there at 8:55. So she wants to be there. So she wants to be there at 8:55, so it's going to take her 20 minutes. So subtract 20 minutes, so she needs to leave home at 8:35, right? But if you don't like subtracting time, girls, okay, you can do that on the calculator. I know this is an easy enough question, but you can do 8 hours, 55 minutes, take away 0, remember you have to put in the hours, 0 hours 20 minutes equals, and it'll tell you 8:35. Okay, is that alright? So we're going to stick with these, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you lots of these, and you'll have them done before 3:45 because we have a nice double class to get through. So I'm going to do page 194, and you're going to do numbers 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, right, now we haven't used up very much of our double class, okay, so I'm going to stay in the meeting, right, okay, so I'm going to stay in the meeting here, so until 3:45. So if you have, if you're doing these, right, and you come across a problem, I want you to come back into the meeting, right, so just join the meeting again, because I'll still be here and I'll help you out. So if you get stuck on any of these, I want you to join the meeting again, okay, I want you to do them now, and if you get stuck, I want you to come back into the meeting, okay, so you can all head off and do them, but as I say, I'm staying in the meeting, so come back into it if you get stuck in any of these.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, bye.